As ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while since we have been able to introduce this man. But he's back. It's SOO. It's UTHERMAL? What? What? Okay. It's too early for this. But let's look at this completely unbiased. Okay, that's a 14. That's 16 pool. That's not good. Uh-oh. So UTHERMAL here has gone for the immediate float down to the low ground. We love to see this. This, of course, is what we call innovation. This is what all pros wish they could do. This is what every player looks at and they say, wow, that's how you should play StarCraft 2. As UTHERMAL, well, it's not going to get scouted out for a little while, but just about as long as usually it would be scouted by an overlord. SOO has gone for a 16 pool. And of course the worry is, this is a 16 pool. If SOO commits to getting speed, if SOO scouts this, there's a very good chance that SOO builds roaches. Oh no! This is not scripted, guys. This is not scripted, as that is roaches on the way. This is so bad. This is so bad. I mean, UTHERMAL, it's a cool idea, you know? The firstlings are going to come across the map. They're not going to see anything. They're going to be like, what's going on? Where's the base? And UTHERMAL's going to be like, ha, surprise, it's at the third base location. Bet you didn't think of that. Unfortunately, what UTHERMAL doesn't know is that there are going to be roaches headed across the map. Also, that's a natural base placed at the fourth. As, yeah, this is definitely a YouTube content game here for UTHERMAL. As the Overlord is going to scout this, SOO is like, huh, what is going on? And we'll see if those roaches are produced, I believe. Was the Roach Warren finished, or was it canceled? Did SOO cancel the Roach Warren? Oh, SOO, no. What? Oh, the Roach Warren is actually so good. But SOO does cancel. Goes up into the main, sees it. Oh, yes. Indeed. You are just, you know, floating your main base down, and yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. As the first Marine is going to get killed, and now this bunker is going to be under fire as the Reaper makes its way into the main base. I'm still shocked as... Okay, UTHERMAL's just... Yeah. It's 6:20 a.m., guys. SOO's going to win this game. Or not SOO, UTHERMAL's going to win this game. I'm calling it right now. As 4 lings are across the map, and this is surprisingly the most annoying thing that could possibly happen right now. As, oh, the micro. Oh, UTHERMAL. He saves them all. Doesn't lose a single one. UTHERMAL's winning this game. No question. The natural base is up. This is, I mean, this is GG. There's no other way to put it. This is game over. As, I mean, surprisingly, UTHERMAL's not in a bad position. He's a little bit delayed just because of his build choice, but he's not actually super far behind. I mean, 11 workers behind is pretty darn bad. And that's just going to get worse and worse. SOO has actually decided that instead of throwing down the Roach Warren, he's realized that UTHERMAL's tech will be delayed, so he cancels the early Roach Warren. Instead, just goes into so many workers, as he's now sitting about 13 ahead of UTHERMAL. That said, Hellions are, of course, a very good threat and can clean up a lot of those drone lines. But yeah, welcome everybody. For those of you who are wondering from that raid from Winter, thank you so much. Yeah, this is game 1 of the qualifiers. It is currently 6:20 a.m. and UTHERMAL has floated his main base down to the 3rd location. His natural is at the 4th. And yeah, roaches are now on the way. SOO is eventually going to try and turn this into a roach attack. So he is going to be looking to try and go across the map. The issue is you do already have Banshees on the way. UTHERMAL is approaching this in a very, very smart way, where he's getting stim, he's going to have Banshees, and those, of course, are very, very good at defending against these roaches. As long as you don't lose the Banshee across the map, as long as you don't have it committed across the map when the roaches actually arrive, then you can actually hold on pretty easily, as these workers still, UTHERMAL hasn't lost any workers. He's actually not taken any damage with this opening. What is happening? This is not supposed to happen. Okay? This is not how this is supposed to go, but roaches are continued in production. SOO right now sitting at 53 workers. It still has that lead. And realistically, you don't need to produce workers here at SOO for a little while, as the Hellions trying to push into and needs to snipe off a creep tumor. UTHERMAL not committing in with the Hellions, of course, is something where it's a hard decision to make, because you don't want to commit in the Hellions, lose them all, and then you have your entire bit of map pressure gone. But at the same time, those Hellions could get some worker kills, could get UTHERMAL into an actual lead. And the issue is he hasn't really scouted out the roaches as they are now headed across the map. The Hellions are going to get caught. They're actually going to get sandwiched here. And a few of them, quite a few of them, are actually going to go down now, and the Queen should be able to catch them. As well, that's an engineering bay that's going to go down. And SOO right now, 127 to fly to 74. You do need to have those Banshees across the map. And again, this is the issue for UTHERMAL. You have the Banshees across the map. You have to lift off the quotation mark natural base now, as they are going to start to knock down these Ravagers. They do a pretty darn good job of it. Luckily, Banshee's damage is pretty good, as now it takes out. Marines are also here, so this is actually not going to be the easiest to push without Ravagers. SOO is going to have to back on up. Banshee's just continuing to knock down the roaches, and I mean, the natural base is now going to be placed at the actual natural location, which is always nice to see. UTHERMAL is going to be taking one of his normal bases. That is all. And other than that, defends decently well. It's not ideal, though. Again, having to pull the workers, having just to lift off that base and concede complete, again, you pretty much concede complete pressure to SOO at this point. It's not ideal. And having those Banshees just kind of lollygagging around the map, just kind of sitting, you know, by where the fourth base should go down, wasn't the best positioning. And we are going to see SOO here now go and take a fourth base of his own. Did just delay that to get out the early roaches. That base will actually have to be canceled, though. If the Queens don't come on over, SOO, there we go, gets the cancel, gets the drone out, so he can immediately rebuild it. Now is Hydralisk added on into his army composition, and that does just make it a little bit more scary. The Hydras add a lot of strength to this. I believe already have Groove Spines on the way, so you're going to have that range. Just, oh! Have to be careful. These Banshees almost going down. I mean, with these upgrades coming through for SOO, it's a really dangerous position for the Terran player. You're sitting at a 182 supply Zerg. 115 supply for UTHERMAL. Does have, I think, 3 or 4 tanks there available. Uh-oh, Banshee is going to get immediately knocked down. 2 drops are headed across the map, and they're not going to find a fourth base, which is annoying. But here we go. SOO's actually going on in. Does not have a lot of Ravagers. It's 4 tanks here. Misses the first Ravager bile. Needs to get some more down, as, oh, the worker pool is just absolutely brutal. Finally, some more corrosive vials are going to find their way onto the tanks, but they're getting so much value. As SOO pushing in, should be able to knock down the rest of the tanks, should be able to get rid of the rest of the units here, but what's happening across the map? Well, that's Marines stimming on into the natural, but it's getting cleaned on up. GG. SOO is going to take game number 1. We'll see if there's going to be a different plan here for game number 2, because we are Glittering Ashes, which is, of course, you know, a little bit bigger. It's SOO at the top right. You know, it's late for UTHERMAL. I'm sure he's tired. It's like, what is it? It's UTHERMAL. He just wants to. He wants to do this. You know, he's got to do it. You know, it's just, that is the rules. SOO is back, therefore, UTHERMAL must Bomb Cloud. That's how it works, come on. Obviously, this is how it works. And here's the thing. Think about it this way now. This is Glittering Ashes. This is a larger map than we just saw on 2K Atmospheres. So, realistically, it should be harder for SOO to bring an attack across that. Also, you do have the high ground to work with. I'm going to be honest. It could work. It could work. Potentially. Now, SOO has once again gone for the pool first, and this just seems to be what SOO is liking right now. Is going for the 16 pool into the 18 hatch. Get out those 4 early lings and send them across the map. I would like to see these sent straight across the map, though. SOO did a bit of scouting out for those early proxy Raxes, and I think that is, of course, okay, but you've scouted out most of it already with your Overlords. And we'll see if he does actually go up to 4. Might just add on the 2 for scouting. Apologies for that. But as I said, UTHERMAL, realistically, should not be as far behind on this map as he was on 2K Atmospheres. For those wondering the reason to do this, I don't know. I do not have the answers you are looking for. As those 2 lings are going to be set across the map immediately, SOO should be able to scout out the fact that the natural, this time, is being placed at the natural. So this is actually interesting. Because here's the idea, is that you get pretty much the idea is you do actually get an easier to defend third base. If you get that third up earlier, you can expand back towards your main base, and so you're not taking risk expanding. You're actually safely expanding up to 3 bases while you're walling off the third, and you're defending that initially. That is the original, that's the thought process behind this. It actually means that technically you should be safer if you are able to survive. Now, SOO has not gone across the map just yet. SOO has not dived into that natural to see whether or not that is there, but he will scout out with the Overlord the fact that, once again, the third base is just a little bit ahead. And so we'll know, okay, you're doing the exact same thing again. And we'll see if it's going to be the same response from SOO, because I do like the idea that you send the roaches across early, as not going to be able to get the deny there on the CC, but... Ow, that does hurt. A few SCVs going down immediately here. This time, SOO managing to find some damage with these early lings. In the previous game, mind you, UTHERMAL lost that. Did not lose workers. As this hurts just a little bit. UTHERMAL trying his best with the few Marines that he does have. Loses a 6th worker. And I think this might just be game over. Unfortunately, this might work against, you know, some Grandmasters on the North American, maybe the European ladder, but SOO, it does feel like it might just be a little bit stronger than that. As the tank has come out, SOO is just going to go up to 3 bases, has this early pressure. He's going to keep applying it. At this point, you do not let this base go up. This tank will be able to deny a few of those lings, and, well, UTHERMAL, from this point, is just going to try and get back into a decent position. Right now, has 20 workers. It's not exactly where you want to be. The Zerg's soon going to be sitting about 14 workers ahead. Or 24 workers. Yeah. I'll be honest, this is a fun game to start off. That's a fusion core. So we're going to have the patented UTHERMAL. What's going to be probably a 6-minute battlecruiser headed across the map. Which, you know, is, of course, extremely good. Excuse me as I had to sneeze. Starport is going down in the main, so UTHERMAL will be trying to hide this. Aspire for SOO is going to be the choice, and I mean, luckily for SOO, that's actually a pretty nice counter here, as it's going to be a double battlecruiser. We already have the first one that's going to be built at the 3rd base. And now we're going to be seeing a second starport. Should be adding on a tech lab in the main. I think the issue is, I don't think UTHERMAL has enough money to produce 2 battlecruisers at a time, as he is struggling right now to mine enough minerals to produce enough workers and also other units As SOO is just kind of sitting happily, still about 23 workers ahead, continuing to drone up, is going to be getting about, 7 or so Mutalisks right off the bat. And we'll be adding on those Evo Chambers. So really, realistically, SOO in an extremely strong position, immediately going into flyer attacks. There's 2 battle cruisers, though. Oh, what are they going to do? They realistically should not get a lot of damage done. SOO even scouts out the fusion core. Is going to lose the Overseer, but now knows, wait a second, there's a battle cruiser. I mean, you pop down 3 spores. You do need a little bit more than that, as there's not a super high queen count right now for SOO, but there are Mutalisks in the natural, so is gonna, even this out just a little bit. As transfuses go down, that queen not gonna die. Their base now under threat as drones are starting to go down. This battle cruiser, though, is about to get cut off, so Mutalisks can turn here to fire on it. And the first PC goes down. Oh, never mind. The Mutas just decide to fly away. They do not want to attack it, as now the tanks are under fire. There are no Marines back here. They have cleaned up. GG. SOO is going to get the quick 2-0. UTHERMAL fun meme builds aside is going to be dropped down to the losers bracket.